students, welcome back to the online Metri Home Day numero dos. I do want to explain a little bit of what your canvas looks like. So I know that some of you already saw it yesterday, but your canvas will always have your learning objective, your standard, good morning by the way, your standard, your due date, an extended due date. So you guys don't forget and miss my beautiful PowerPoints. I will also upload your PowerPoint so you can see exactly what we're doing every single day. The one thing I do want to point out that is super important is the timing. Remember that for math, you're only supposed to spend at least the max is 60 minutes. So I outlined it here for you. The only one that I haven't yet is watch the video because I don't know how long it's going to take. But again, your warm-up should only take 5 minutes, your task should only take 30, and your exit ticket should only be 5 minutes. Make sure that you keep a timer, whether it's on your computer, on your watch, or wherever, but keep that timer. It shouldn't take you any more than 60 minutes. You'll have your do now here, your mini lesson, so this is where the video is going to be, and then your individual practice. Again, I put the timing right here, which is super important, and then your exit tickets. But if you guys ever have a question, you guys know you guys can reach me. And again, my office hour time is at 2 p.m. from 2 to 3 p.m. I'll be on there so you can ask me any questions. Okay, so I have a few things to go over. So super huge shout out to Ayala's Advisory. Most of you guys turned in the survey that I had you do yesterday. So if you haven't done that, please go back and do it. It's just super fun. It's just talking about finding your space to study, because I know that we're going to be doing this for this week and then again the first week of Q4. So make sure you have that space where your brain knows that if I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here to study. The next thing is, again, just explaining the timing. It should only take you 60 minutes. If it's taking you more, stop for the day and move on, okay? Because it should not take you any longer than 60 minutes, so put a timer. And then lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and explain a little bit of how your tasks are going to work. So for today's task, if you guys haven't opened it yet, we have 3 pages, and it's just formula and concept reviews. So what we're going to do is, in a document, we're gonna have all the formulas and different concepts that we've learned from the past. So it should be nothing new, nothing strange. So there's a few options, right? So if you have access to a printer, I would highly suggest go ahead and print it so you can just write on it. If you don't have a printer, you can also just make a copy of the document and type on there. It is gonna get a little tricky just with the equations and so on, but I know that your Google Doc has an option to insert equations, so you can do that. Or if you have none of those or you don't like any of those, you can also create your own document. So here I have in the whiteboard how I would create my own document, my own piece of paper, either lined paper, blank paper, whatever you have. So I would just write exactly the same thing that's on the document, but just on my own piece of paper. So for example, here I have stop number 1, slope. On point slope formula, you're going to write everything that you remember about point slope. Okay, I'm gonna go over these first categories with you. So if you have the printed version, we're doing the first 3. If you made your own, it's gonna look something like this, or whatever works for you. And if it's in your Google Docs, then you're just typing it in. Okay, so whatever works with you, we're gonna be super flexible about how you're submitting this. Okay, so point slope formula. So you have to think in your brain, what do I remember about this? I recall that I know that we use coordinate points, so I'm gonna go ahead and do, I use X, Y. I also recall that it looks a little like y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Okay, and then from this, I'm gonna label it. Again, I'm gonna use colors. I hope that you guys have your colors out, just because remember, I'm super visual. So I'm gonna go ahead and use, not red, but green. I know that my M right here, that's my slope. Right, and then I know that my Y1 and my Y2, those are my coordinate points. Of course, I don't have that much room just because I'm writing really big, but you should have more room in your piece of paper and you can keep writing anything else that you find out. So if you don't remember, you can go ahead and use your laptop, your Chromebook to figure, type it out and figure out what is the slope formula look like, the point slope formula. What is it used for, right? So I'm gonna move on from there. Slope intercept form. So what does that look like? Again, I'm gonna remember, hopefully you guys remember, it hasn't been too long. Slope intercept form looks like maybe y equals mx plus b form, right? So that's what this means. And again, label every single thing that you have. So I know that m is my slope, and I know that my b is my y coordinate. Right, and if you remember anything else, go ahead and write it on there too. And then also don't forget that we also use pictures. So for example, this one, positive slope, you have to think about, okay, how does that look like? What is this positive slope? And then how does my graph look like? So I'm gonna give you an example of a positive slope. So it's like, for example, y equals 2x minus 3. Right, if I look here, my slope, I notice that for my slope intercept form, my m is my slope, which is right next to my x. So for here, my 2 is my slope and it's positive. So if I were to tell you, okay, go ahead and graph this, I know that a positive slope is going to look a little like this. It's gonna go up from left to right, and it's going up, so it's increasing. So again, we have a positive slope, you're increasing. So this is what you're going to be doing for your task today. Again, you have 5 different stops. The first one is your slope. Second is line, so midpoint formula. What does that look like? Your distance formula, what does that look like? Then you have your third stop is triangles. So going over all triangles, such as like Pythagorean theorem, area of a triangle, SOHCAHTOA, trig functions, isosceles triangles. And then your fourth stop is property of exponents. So like, what do we do at 0 when a base is raised to 0 power? What do we do when we have a quotient? My bases are dividing and my exponents, what do I do with those, right? And then your last stop is absolute value. So everything is on here, you're to fill it out. Again, whether it's through here, whether it's through Google Docs or making your own. And then the last thing that I am going to ask you guys to do, please make sure you do this, is your exit ticket. You're taking a picture through your phone, and uploading it onto Canvas. So let me clarify that. You're taking a picture of the last page of your notes, so it would be your stop 4 and 5 completely filled out, and you're uploading that to Canvas. So that's gonna be your points for the day. Okay, so again, make sure you do that. That's your exit ticket. It's only take you 5 minutes at the end. Your task should be around 30 minutes, so make sure you spend 30 minutes on it. Again, find a timer. Tell your mom, hey mom, pues 30 minutos nomás, okay? Figure something out, or your sibling. So let me just tell you lastly what week 10 is going to look like. So again, today we're doing formula/concept review part 1. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we're gonna do part 2 of this review. On Thursday, we're going to do practice problems, okay? And then lastly, on Friday, I'm not going to give you your midterm just yet, just because I feel like it'll be more beneficial next quarter once we have the interim. We know when that's going to be. But I am going to give you some sort of test where we have all these concepts, all these formulas in one place, so we can see how well we're doing or what we need to review when we come back. But again, if you guys have any questions, please email me. I do have office hours at 2 p.m. So if you guys have a question, want to say hi, drop in Google Hangouts. And let's see, yep, on my to-do list. Again, just go ahead and vomit everything on these boxes. I just want to know what you remember. And if you don't, then go ahead and research it, figure it out, okay? All right. Start your task. Goodbye.